we're saying here that beans are tremendously protective against early life death, and they're protective against cancer, cardiovascular death, diabetes. They have a whole bunch of properties that makes them our favorite carbohydrate source. In other words, we score carbohydrates on a hierarchical scale of quality, and beans are at the top. Because if we look at this hierarchical scale, and I'm just putting a few carbohydrate choices up here, I'm not putting all of them. We buy a million different grains and things, kamut and amaranth and quinoa. But just picking some carbohydrates and looking at how much fiber they contain and how much resistant starch they contain and how much anti-cancer phytonutrients they contain and how much protein they contain, right? And beans win the prize. They win it by a mile. They have the most resistant starch, and they have the most slowly digestible starches too, which means they're low for the amount of calories they contain. Those calories enter the bloodstream slowest of any other carbohydrate source, and it's slow entry of calories that makes for a smaller need for insulin. The lowest insulin response occurs as a source of carbohydrates with beans because their calories enter the bloodstream little bit at a time, not in a surge. A surge of calories entering the bloodstream all at one time is called the glycemic load, right? And we're saying the higher the glycemic load, the more unfavored it is. And that's why beans are such a favored carbohydrate, because they have the most slowly digestible carbohydrates. And some of their carbohydrate content is resistant to enzymatic degradation. It's resistant starch, and it doesn't come into the body as a calorie. It just acts as a prebiotic for the bacteria in the gut to fuel the growth of good bacteria in the gut and to produce more anti-inflammatory short-chain fatty acids, including butyrate, which is not only health beneficial, but it also has a negative feedback loop to the apostat in the hypothalamus. So the butyrate is one of the factors controlling our appetite. Going back a slide for a minute, I'm saying beans contain a lot of favorable anti-cancer nutrients like inositol pentachous phosphate that causes apoptosis supports immune function and drives apoptosis or death of cancer cells. Beans are higher in protein than you think, because remember, if their carbohydrate content, if I say a bean is 30% protein, and I'm saying 10% of the carbohydrates that you're counting don't get absorbed, if we look at the total amount of absorbed calories, the protein in a bean is even greater than 30%, right? So beans are a very, very rich protein source. And of course, they balance the protein in nuts and seeds and green vegetables to give you an excellent protein supply when you eat green vegetables, beans, and some nuts and seeds in the same meal. Not only does that give you a very complete and adequate protein, but it also activates, tremendously affects through bacteria action and the GLP-1 inhibitors that suppress your appetite. And because the nuts and seeds is a source of fat and protein, go into the bloodstream so slowly, and beans enter the bloodstream so slowly, and they both have calories that don't become absorbed, they cause you to feel satisfied or satiated with less calories, and they cause you to feel sustained energy for many, many hours and not hungry for many hours, leading you more comfort and more control over your appetite. So here's a study, for example, that showed just 2 servings of beans a week decreased risk of breast cancer in the Nurses' Health Study compared to people who ate no beans. That's just 2 servings a week. And I'm of course suggesting you eat some every day. And I'm also suggesting that if you don't digest beans well, you should learn how to digest them well. If they cause too much gas or bloating, then what you do is you have just a teaspoon of beans with every single meal. With breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have little chickpeas or little black lentils or a little bit something with every meal, with every single meal, until you can, over time, increase the volumes a little bit and handle and be able to digest them better. You can train the body how to digest those foods better. And of course, this slide is saying at the bottom there, but high glycemic diets, sugar, honey, maple syrup, white flour, high diets high in white potato. We're talking about a high white rice, high glycemic diets increase risk of cancer, including, we're using breast cancer as an example. High glycemic diets increased by 87% compared to utilizing beans, which lower risk of, right? We're talking here about lower the risk